Do I need to introduce myself?
The Proposition is an elegy to the Australian outback. Essentially a western about the violent frontier of the 19th century, it's a tale that's tender and terrifying, all at the same time. It's no surprise that it was written by the brooding songsmith Nick Cave, and it stars Guy Pearce as the renegade Charlie Burns, who has to track down his psychotic older brother to save his younger one.
I suppose I told you there was a way to save your little brother Mikey from the noose. Suppose I gave you a horse, a gun.
So what is it that you want?
I know where your brother Arthur Burns is. It is a godforsaken place.
You want me to kill me, brother?
Usually in a film, usually in a formulaic way, you know, you spend the first 30 pages on some level getting to know the people and then something will happen to them. Whereas with this, they throw the proposition up in the first sort of 2 minutes of the movie, and then as the audience you're sort of left to then claw your way through and actually try and figure out how these people are dealing with the aftermath of that. And I find that really interesting because that just feels more realistic to me. So it felt very real and you know, it's obviously really brutal and really extreme, and I tend to like things that are extreme.
Oh, Charlie. Go easy there. It's all right, Charlie. You want to know why I've come back? I know why you've come back, Charlie.
I see the film as being a very melancholy film, if anything. It was written as a very melancholy, a kind of melancholy ode to my country. But it is punctuated with some short, sharp bursts of violence, which actually a lot of people have been focusing on, I think quite unfairly, considering the kind of the level of violence that comes out of a lot of Hollywood films.
Is everything all right? Perhaps you better ask your husband.
I will civilise this land.
Who do you think you are? The judge and the jury?
Arthur Burns must be stopped.
It occurred to me when I watched this film, I hadn't actually seen an Australian Western. Why aren't there many Australian Westerns?
Well, I mean, there's certainly been films made set in the outback and films that have covered bushrangers, I guess, before, Ned Kelly stories or you know, various things like that. But I mean, I think the term Western seems to be attached to this film more so than others. I don't really know why necessarily. It's such an American idea, or I suppose, or style. But there have been other films that have been of the period and of you know, of that kind of landscape and area.
Guy Pearce made his mark a decade ago, playing a pretty young drag queen in The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Before that, Pearce was mostly known as a teen idol in the long-running Australian soap Neighbours. Priscilla was such a huge international hit, it put the actor on Hollywood's radar.
It broke a little bit of a mould after having done Neighbours for so long, you know. I think to go from something that's so sort of straightforward and suburban and almost mundane to something like Priscilla, which is very sort of electric and obviously high camp and really quite different, it just broke a few moulds, I suppose, and preconceived notions about what, not just me, but what people are able to do as actors, you know, how versatile actors can be. So it was really exciting for me to have people come up, and they still do. People sort of go, I can't believe you're the same guy that was in LA Confidential, that was in Priscilla, you know, so I find that really rewarding.
Pearce has proved his mettle with roles in successful American films. There was the slick, noirish crime drama LA Confidential, and after that, the complex thriller Memento. When you're an actor in Australia, are you sort of looking to kind of graduate to Hollywood films in some ways, as if there's some kind of nirvana there? A lot of your compatriots have made that leap.
Not necessarily. I mean, it depends on who you are, I think. I mean, everyone's different, and everyone, you know, has sort of different desires. I mean, I just want to work anywhere. I just kind of want to work where I find great scripts, and if that's a UK script or a European script or an American thing or an Australian thing.
Guy Pearce is now a household name in Hollywood, but unlike some of his compatriots, he never wants to give up working down under. And The Proposition is quintessentially an Aussie film.
It just means more to me because I grew up there. I suppose it's just, you know, it's a familiarity, and it's a sort of a deeper understanding that I have there than I do anywhere else. I mean, as I say, you know, I'm interested in human emotions no matter where they're from, but on some level it's actually easier to sort of slip into something, I think, in an Australian story because I'm essentially an Aussie.
I've also read somewhere that you're a musician, you write hundreds of songs. Would you like to have success in that field as much as you would in acting?
I used to want to, you know, I mean, I always grew up sort of playing music and singing and doing music with other people. But I just think, you know, you realise as you get older that on some level your desire to have attention or fame or whatever you want to call it in a field is satisfied not necessarily through that actual artistic outlet, but it's just as an idea itself. And I obviously get enough attention as an actor, so I don't feel like I need to necessarily get more attention through music. I just like playing music with other people, so I can sit in the lounge room at home and do that and sort of actually go, you know, it's just about the playing of it on the top of the charts or anything like that, you know.